Social media fatigue. I'm hustling and it's hurting. I'm close to burnout. Where should I start? Okay, so here's what's really, really common for many of you, both, because there's a lot of you here today that are already working with me. Thank you. And there's some of you that haven't worked with me yet that are in this community. But the most common thing that I hear, I know this is you, because this is happening for almost every single coach out there. Because by the way, there is an estimated 5,842,000 coaches in the world right now. And you guys all get distracted with their highlight reels. You're seeing all these coaches post their crap and it makes it look like they're successful. And they're not. And this is not a disrespect to anyone, by the way, because we're all trying to do the best that we can. But the problem is you're comparing yourself to the other coaches' highlight reels, and the other coaches' highlight reels aren't even real. The reels ain't real. How's that? Hashtag reels ain't real. Somebody do it. Hang on, actually, I'll do it. Hashtag the reels ain't real. There we go. Right? So what's happening is you're actually putting yourself in this comparison and beating yourself up and getting burnt out and making out, telling yourself that what you're doing isn't good enough and it's not working because you're comparing your reality to another coach's highlight reel. But here's the truth that's about what's going on for them as well as most other coaches, because most of those 5 million plus coaches are not doing this consistently and do not have a thriving business. And that's okay. What's not okay is getting on social media and lying. I don't like it. You don't have to pretend. Your message doesn't have to be a facade. So what is going on is you've invested thousands upon thousands of dollars in yourself and in your business. Coaching programs, self-paced programs, done for you consultants, the lot. And you feel like you're being consistent and you're showing up. But ultimately, the truth is you feel like you're hustling your ass off and it's really getting you nowhere. Now, let's be clear. You are not going to go from zero to hero overnight. There's no magic pill. These overnight success stories actually took years and years of growth, learning, building, finding what didn't work, iterating, testing, and trying different things. But the truth is you can get results, but you can't get the results using the same cookie cutter crap that came from that consulting program that we've spoken about, that the other 25,000 coaches went through who have now gone out and regurgitated and created programs that look almost similar, and you're being taught the same crap. And here's what's insane. Everyone's doing the same stuff on social media, even though it's not working. And yet you keep showing up and you keep doing it because that consulting program told you to, and then that coach that you worked with from the consulting program told you to, and you keep doing it. Remember, Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So at some point, we've got to get real with ourselves. Now, by the way, you will know if you've worked with a coach that has done this infamous consulting program because it'll have the words accelerator in it. A lot of the graduates come out of this consulting program and then call their program blah, blah, blah accelerator. And all they've done is ripped off what they learned in the consulting program. So here's what's not working. To answer Chad's question, Chad says, what are the top 2 to 3 tasks to focus on? So it's a great question because it flows into the original question around, you know, having social media fatigue. You're burnt out. You're trawling all day long and it's not doing anything. Here's the thing. You don't need 2 to 3 tasks. You don't need another strategy. Strategy is not your problem. It's how you're doing the what that is holding you back. And there's some of you here that are already inside of my community, so this will make perfect sense to you. Give me a show of hands. You know, would you agree that like what we're doing inside of Business Builder, ultimately the strategy isn't very, very different from anything else you've learned, but it's how we're doing it that makes the difference. Now, what do I mean by that? We're not just showing up and making comments on people's content. We're not just adding friends randomly, hoping that they're inside of our target audience. We're using principles inside of the strategy that no one else is teaching you. For those of you that are inside a Business Builder, would you agree that it's the how we're doing the strategy, not the strategy itself, that's making a difference? Jojo says, yes, the how is completely different and it works. Aralea, thumbs up. Thanks, ladies. So Chad, and for all of you watching here who aren't inside a Business Builder yet, please let me be clear. You don't need another strategy. Stop searching for strategy. You've got strategy. You do need to show up. You do need to share content. You do need to add friends. You do need to make comments and be engaging. That's strategy. But it's how you're doing those things that is leaving you looking like just another generic coach on the internet, because everybody's doing it in the same way. They're being eye-centric. You don't even realize you're being eye-centric because you mean well. Bianca, yep. Ella, people are responding to you with actual gratitude now. And the accountability is real, right? So you don't need more strategy, guys. You need principles. And I'll give you an example. I'm going to share my screen and show you what I mean. Okay, here is a picture of me responding on somebody's content. So our friend James here shared a post, and all I did was go in and thank him for sharing his wisdom. You are James, and you don't realize you're James because you have the best of intentions, just like our friend James here did. Now, you're probably going, well, what happened? What went wrong? Here's what happened. James comes back and tries to school me on how to upgrade my concentric sphere levels of awareness in the world. And all I did was thank him for sharing his message. He says, you're so welcome. I'm glad it helped. Remember, there's usually a plateau after graduating from one sphere to the next. You've gotten just a little bit comfortable and then the challenges start all over again. Blah, 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 blah. I don't give a shit. I didn't ask to be schooled. And you're trying to be helpful just like James. But in doing so, you actually repel people away from you. So this is James doing what he was told, what you were told, to get on social media and respond to people. But what James wasn't taught and what you haven't been taught is how to respond to people in a way that connects and leaves them feeling seen. So instead, you and James end up looking like you're aggressive, disrespectful, and a bulldozer. And this is why your comments are not converting to clients for you. This is why people aren't reaching out to you with all of the activity that you're doing. You don't need more activity. You know what you're doing. It's right. The strategy is right. It's how you're doing the strategy that's wrong. You don't mean to, but you're disconnecting with your content, your comments. That is the difference. And that is why people have social media fatigue and no clients. People can't see you because you're getting on social media and you're being eccentric, even though you have the best of intentions. This shit doesn't convert, guys. Knowing the principles so that you can leave people feeling seen, because when you do, they come to you. You don't even have to go in their DMs half the time. We had it happen this morning in Business Builder. One of our members made a comment on someone's content using the principles that you learn in Business Builder. That person came into her DM. And then you know how to lead that conversation to invite them to a call with you in a connected way, not a salesy, spammy way. So that is the difference. That is what the consulting program didn't teach you, and all the 25,000 coaches who've regurgitated it that you've worked with have not taught you. You don't need more strategy. It's time for principles. That's what makes the difference. And you might be sitting here thinking you know principles, and you probably do know principles. But if it's not converting, then you don't know them well enough yet in the context of social media. So please come and join us at Business Builder. I'm going to put a link in the chat. It's $4 a session. $4 a session to connect and convert clients. Are you freaking kidding me? I want to help you grow your business and share your mission. You can't do that by being on your own, doing your social media activity. It's not working.